If I can quote my dear sweet Uncle Phil,
Mhm.
I want to know, can you show me? Like, fucking show me something. PlayStation? Like,
Uncle Phil.
this is Drop and Drop Out, the weekly podcast where a mix of gamers come together to talk all about video games. Tonight, we are going to be breaking down the state of play from September 2025. I'm your host, Patrick, and dropping in this week, the homie, Jake Twitchin. Jake, say hi.
Hey-o.
And the other homie, Jerica, aka Jerica2. Jerica, say hi.
Howdy.
As I said, we're going to be breaking down the state of play one announcement at a time. What was missing? What did we wish could have been there? Is Sony in trouble? We're going to get to it, but first, I do have some housekeeping. I don't think I've seen anyone in the chat redeem the hot dog jamboree, but if someone does it, I'm going to have some news. So while I give the chat a second to do that, I'm also going to remind us, oh, we did it. Okay, let's pull the car over. We hit the hot dog jamboree, which means one thing, folks. It's time to put it on the fucking calendar. And oh, what's that? I'm hearing in my earpiece Tuesday, September 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here on twitch.tv/drop-in-drop-out-pod. We're going to be playing some Fall Guys, eating some hot dogs with you, the chat. So clear your schedules, clear your calendars, come join us, download Fall Guys, get a couple fucking links, get some fucking toppings, and eat some hot dogs with us. Get some glizzies. Let's eat some hot dogs and play some Fall Guys.
Oh, that's beautiful. That
Ooh,
art.
look at that. That's very good. Did you just make that, Jake?
No, I just cropped it out of our actual thumbnail.
That's very good.
Really good, right?
Wow. Oh, there it is. That's very good. For people that don't recognize or don't know the picture of me that's in that, a hot dog is actually covering a knife as I was pretending to shove a knife in my throat because I was having a great mental health day. Some more housekeeping, and then let's talk about some video games. This weekend on Saturday, we're going to be doing some kind of stream. Is it going to be a game stream? Is it going to be a messy pod all about Hades 2? Who's to say? We're going to figure it out on Saturday. But if you go to dropindropoutpod.com and join the Discord, you're always going to know when new fun things are happening within the drop-in, drop-out world. Also, something I didn't put on the housekeeping, but I'm just remembering right now. Next Monday, our own Jerica over at JK Games is starting the Silent Hill F coverage on Video Game Book Club. So I need to...
Sorry.
I know, I have some fuck. That's exactly right. I need to play more of that game, but I am excited to participate in Video Game Book Club for the hottest new release of the month.
Are you guys familiar with the music of Lil Wayne?
Yes. I do know Lil Wayne. Fireman, fire for fireman.
That's the one. Are you guys familiar with his nickname, Wheezy F Baby?
Wheezy F Baby, yeah.
And do you know what the F stands for? Exactly. It's always something different. Like I've heard him say the F is for franchise, the F is for phenomenal, which is very funny. But I think for Silent Hill F for the book club, you guys have to come up with a new thing that the F might stand for. It's a good bit.
This is good.
Okay.
This is good. I like this a lot. Let's fucking talk about some video games. What do we think? Yeah. State of play this morning. We got about 40 minutes of state of play coverage. I think I can just rip off the Band-Aid and lightly spoil that all of us kind of wish that there were some better things at the state of play. So I want to start the discussion with a hypothetical. What was missing? Like what could have made this state of play the best state of play that we've ever had? Jake, talk to me. What did we miss here?
A fucking first party surprise of any sort. That's the biggest weakness here is that for we'll probably get into a bigger conversation about like Sony as a whole and where they're at right now with like first party titles, but we know so little still after years and years of knowing so little. We can only look ahead so many months to see what's coming, and we're lucky to have Intergalactic that's further out. But besides that, just don't know what people are working on and what I should be looking forward to. They own so much IP, and it just seems like, you know, from the public perception or what they're telling us, we don't know anything. We have nothing to get excited for.
I agree. I think I bought into the hype that this was going to be huge. And then in the pre-show, me, Jerica, and Kame were talking, and I went through all of the announcements from last September State of Play, and I was like, and that was in like 30-something minutes too. I was like, man, this could be fucking big based on just how many titles that they even announced last time. And it didn't hit. But Jerica, what about you? What do you, is there anything more than the first party titles that Jake mentioned that you wish were here?
Yeah, I wish this was a showcase, not a state of play. I think honestly, with what we just mentioned, maybe like 2 new games in the works that are coming that might be PlayStation 6 titles, but I don't give a fuck. I want to know. I want to know what PlayStation's cooking. It's time to let us know. I want to be in that place where we know the PS6 is maybe 2 years away, maybe less. We don't know. Something new is coming, but I want to know the games to get excited for.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, near the end of the PS4 cycle, we just had so much more, like, or even through the middle, like leading up to PS4 and then in the middle, like we just kept getting like good 4-year plans of like what's happening at PlayStation. And it's just they've lost the mojo here. I know eventually we'll get back to it, but I feel like it's just taking so long.
If I can quote my dear sweet Uncle Phil,
Mhm.
I want to know, can you show me? Like, fucking show me something. PlayStation? Like,
Uncle Phil.
yeah, Phil Collins. He's my
Uncle Phil Collins. Right.
Yeah, right. Come on.
Keep up, dude.
Fucking get in the car and get out, dude. I don't know. I know, sure, it was Wolverine was rumored to hell and back. We knew it was coming. And they just straight up told us that they were going to show us Saros. So, I mean, from the eyes of PlayStation, Wolverine was a surprise. But for the eyes of anybody that fucking follows games, it wasn't, because what was like 3 weeks ago, they were like, hey, there's going to be a state of play and they're going to show Wolverine finally. So, like, we've all kind of expected it. So this whole time. So, yeah, even though I'm normally the guy that's like, do the Fallout 4 thing. Announce the game and it's out in 6 months, especially if it's a huge fucking title. Because the other end of that spectrum is you announce Fallout 6 7 years in advance and there's still not even a window. But I kind of like, what is Bluepoint doing? Like, what is Bend doing? Like, I just tease something. Give me a fucking title. Like, so yeah, I agree. The first party representation was missing, but also I kind of feel like there wasn't much third party stuff either. Like, I was kind of, even though we've seen a ton of Resident Evil 9 already, I was kind of expecting like another look at that or like just something of that caliber. And when I look through the announcements, which we'll get to here in a minute, after the beginning of the show, it's kind of like nothing until the end of the show. Like, there's really not a whole lot in that middle chunk there. So with that being said, before we jump into each like individual announcement, Jake, what would you give this state of play overall score wise?
Fucking 5, 6, 5, 6. I mean,
Yeah,
it's dude, it's tough. Yeah, I'll give it a 6. I feel nice today.
okay, a 6 out of 10 from Jake. Jerica, what about you?
I'd say a 7 out of 10. I mean, I hate that it just keeps happening. Maybe I'm not a gamer. Maybe these games aren't for me, but there just was nothing in the middle for me at all. So it's just lower ranked for me just because of that. But they still showed games that I'm sure speak to some people, but you know, as far as like an excitement factor or like, ooh, wow, that was cool. Oh, I didn't see that coming. I think I'm with Jake, like 6 out of 10. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 because I almost give it a 7, but I was like, I think I'm getting a little too nice right now because come on. Where's that special sauce, Sony?
No, for sure. There was somebody years ago, I think it was Adam Boyes, that talked about like when they're doing a press conference, their goal is like, if you just walk away from the press conference with 1 or 2 things that you're excited for, then we would consider that a success, because there's no way that everything is going to like be good for everybody. Which, so for me, in that score, I would, okay, this is a good showcase, but I don't only play one or two games. Like I want to, there's so many games that we play, and with that huge middle chunk being just fucking boring. I feel like for me, I land.
Okay, maybe it wasn't great then, because like
Yeah.
we're pretty average gamers. Maybe Jake's a little bit more on the side of specific games, a certain category.
I would say so.
I would, maybe more so than I.
Sure.
But the general audience, there's nothing. I know if anyone is even more general than me in this emotion here for this state of play, like it was a big letdown. Like Wolverine is like I just wanted to see a trailer for that. Like I didn't want to watch this whole thing to get to my Wolverine goodness. So
yeah, ultimately I landed a 5. Is my score.
Yeah. I think that it's such an interesting thing trying to rate these, because you have to look at how you come at these events, because I'm looking at the state of play wiki, and it's like we haven't really ever had a really like banger state of play. I don't think we've had those showcases, and even the showcases where they changed the positioning kind of worked against them. The last time I did it was 2023, where they showed Concord and Fair Games, and everyone was like, what the fuck? Like we all kind of turned on them.
The last thing, like the last showing that I was just like, fuck, that really sucked, and it hasn't been great since.
There hasn't been a big showcase.
To the point of like them having to go back in time and reset and cancel games and close studios and make games for the next console. I guess. Sure. I don't know.
It's been a long time since a state of play that wasn't about one game was good, I think, like, or was great.
Yeah.
But that, those are different. Like if I'm only talking about Ghost of Yotei, then if I don't care about Ghost of Yotei, it's going to be a fucking 2 out of 10. But if I'm excited about Ghost of Yotei, it's probably going to be an 8 out of 10.
Well, do you think it's more important to how, let me phrase this correctly. Is it more important how hard you pop or how often you pop for these announcements?
Ooh.
Because I think a great showcase has both, but I think this is a great example of like, I popped hard twice and I don't feel fulfilled, if that makes sense. Yeah, like 35 minutes and I went off for Saros and I went off for Wolverine, but in the middle, like, okay, there was a couple things that maybe are interesting to me, but like a real banger event for me is like at least one thing that I'm super excited for, then a bunch of other really random shit. Like it's crazy how far something that just fits the bill for me can carry something. And I think about like the new Katamari game just popping up at like a random Nintendo Direct. Like, oh my God, that changes it so much for me. I think they're like, as a general note, I think people like us are too harsh on these kinds of events. But I think on the same kind of side of that thought, I think part of that is the things that bring down an event. So like for this, when I look at the list of things, it's like, why did you spend like 4 minutes on Gran Turismo 7, an update of a game that came out years ago that like has its audience, yes, but like weird. Those are the kinds of things. It's like if Gran Turismo 7, that weird thing about that wasn't here, I thought the Code Vein 2 showing was really poor. Like there are a couple things where it's like this game just looks bad or it's old and doesn't matter. Is like you take those out and my grade's getting a little higher. So it's like I think I consider like the low points as much as I consider the high points when grading a thing like this. And if the low points are like fucking low, then that's gonna drag it down a good bit, I think. It's what about you, Jerica? Where's your head at?
Well, I just wonder like how often things get extended, like just different segments. So like Gran Turismo, I just wonder if that was like a shorter situation and then they lengthened it because something else couldn't be here or something else ended up being way better and they wanted to show us more of it. Like I don't know how that stuff's technically filled in, but I'm sure a lot of it is like last minute. Like they probably have a table here. They have all the puzzle pieces and they got a few things laid and they're just like seeing what can make it, which doesn't feel great for anybody. And it doesn't look awesome I don't know. Like it's just strange that we haven't had like a full PlayStation showcase since the weird announcement that all the live service games that
more than 2 years. Um,
And I think that's what I think nothing's gonna feel right until they do that for me. Like any state of play just now, just do
Yeah.
I get it here now or is there new precedents? Like they don't have a precedence anymore. So I don't know what to expect.
if we're
2
being
years
honest,
to me feels like they're done with a showcase until they know that they have a 10.
PlayStation 6, I think the next time we see something is like the PlayStation 6 debut. I think they had called it like the Future of Gaming show or whatever the fuck it was called. Yeah,
Yeah.
PS5, the Future of Gaming show on June 11th, 2020. 5 months before that console came out, by the way. Fucking insane.
Yeah.
But I think that PlayStation State of Play is the weakest, consistently the weakest since its birth in 2019, consistently the weakest of the big 3 individual conferences. State of Play is weaker than like an Xbox showcase or, you know, the last 3 years, those Xbox developer underscore directs, which I think have been really, really strong. And Microsoft's E3 showings have been pretty strong too, especially not this past year's, but the year before that when like Gears of War E-Day popped and all the Fable gameplay. Really, really strong. Nintendo Directs are always very exciting. They seem like they know what they're doing, and it's easy to look at that through rose-colored glasses because we obviously are like fresh off of a Nintendo Switch 2 and a lot of announcements for that, and off of a fucking really dope Direct. But I think that maybe the core of this is that there is no secret that Sony does a lot of deals, marketing deals with third parties. And I think that is what negatively affects these state of plays. I think sometimes we're getting state of plays to hit contractual agreements because we told so-and-so that we would show Code Vein 2 before November of 2025. Like,
they're even showing us speakers during this thing. Like, they're trying to sell us speakers and a controller.
Yes. I think there really is a lot of, like, I think the people from Let It Die Inferno come out, and they have not only a trailer, but, like, 90 seconds of talking heads where they just get to address the camera about their game. That is a paid for appearance, right? Like, that is a odd game that maybe is for some people. It's not for me, but it's lower scale if nothing else, and they got a big percentage of this, and I believe that that was not granted to them because they had faith in their game. That was purchased with money as like a marketing deal and promotion. So I think that maybe Sony being the ones that are doing these deals the dirtiest, I guess, more so than Microsoft and Nintendo, is negatively affecting these shows.
I don't disagree. And I think right now it seems I kind of walk away from today looking at the landscape that Sony has kind of found itself in, from canceling live service games and other games and just not having a ton on the horizon. Like with the Direct that we just got, Nintendo laid up a fucking lineup for Q1 of 2026. And all Sony has right now is one game, end of Q1, and then a game at the end of the year that who knows if it even comes out. Like, that's all they have right now. And sure, some of the Nintendo stuff was third party, but I think they're in just like a state of figuring out like how to get back on track, it seems, because until we see Sony Santa Monica's game, until we see Bend, Bluepoint, all of these, in the pre-show of the stream, we went through every single first-party studio and like either what they're working on, or if like Media Molecule, like no one knows what Media Molecule's doing. There's like 8 different studios that Sony has right now that like we don't know what they're doing, and so I don't know. It's like I think they just got to figure that shit out, because right now it ain't looking good.
I'm not sure Media Molecule knows what Media Molecule's doing right now.
Probably not.
After how they've been treated, and then their studio lead leaving. I don't know.
Oh, I forgot about the studio head leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get into the show. So we open with 5 minutes of Saros, led by Rahul Kohli in the titular role of Steve Saros. That's not the character's name. I just forget the character's name. But we got like 5 minutes of gameplay and some devs talking over it. It's giving very much fucking their last game, fucking
Returnal.
It's giving Returnal, but better. Jerica, what do you think?
Lights and balls falling and coming at your face. It's very Housemarque, and I loved Returnal, but we were talking during the live reaction that, you know, it's a difficult game. I probably could eventually beat it, but it just takes some time. But I had a good time when I was playing it, and I'm excited to see like I couldn't really tell too much from the trailer, like what this game's I always keep saying this special sauce, but I want to know its special sauce. Like
Yeah.
what's gonna be its shtick, and like because like Returnal is really cool. We don't know the story yet for this character. I didn't really pull that away from what we watched earlier today. I haven't watched it for a second time at all, but Returnal's like premise was really interesting. Just like constantly resetting, not knowing why you're there. Why'd you wake up on this planet? And it was just a cool way to like, if you're gonna die multiple times in the game, it's cool to sort of like get a little bit of that story each time you're doing it. So I want to know more about the story. I probably could look up the blog post and maybe get some more info, but um it seemed like more Returnal
Yeah.
and not a lot of like what makes this game different than Returnal, obviously, than the environments and the character.
Yeah. Jake, what about you? What did you think about the Saros?
Pretty hard on it. I really haven't played Returnal. Like that one kind of eluded me. Everything that it stands for is just like kind of not my jam. But I just don't really like roguelikes in general. And then female protect. No, I'm just kidding. But I think the actual like core mechanic of that shit just being like a bullet hell in third person scares the fuck out of me. Like I know that I'll fail. So I look at Saros and I think the same thing, but it just looks, the world that they're kind of building here, I don't know if it's just because is the planet Saros? Is that correct?
I think so. I think
that might be it. For some reason I'm intrigued by like the they haven't even described it, but I'm like, I bet there's cool shit going on in this game from like a sci-fi standpoint, and it's very intriguing to me. So yeah, I'm in on it. And again, yeah, to echo what Jerica said, it feels very Housemarque. They're not reinventing the wheel here, which I think is smart as they break out, because the glow up from that studio from the projects that they did before Returnal to now is absolutely incredible. So I think keep fostering that, and it seems like a good 2026 first party title. Which
Saros is an action game. I know, right? Is a game with a haunting story of a lost off-world colony of Carcosa under an ominous eclipse. You play as Arjun Devraj, a powerful Soltari enforcer who will stop at nothing to find who he's looking for. Our goal is to create an emotional and powerful character study that explores the cost it takes to create a new future. So Saros is not the planet. This quick read as I go through. Saros, I don't think we know what Saros is yet.
Well, let's fucking get some guesses going. What is Saros?
It's the religion.
Ooh, religion.
It's everyone's religion here. Because like at the end, like the figure thing, like is that a god on this planet? Is that not even supposed to be here? What is that creature with all the arms and then
Could be.
You know.
So the trailer started with some line like "the sun keeps dying" or some shit like that. I forget what it was. So I think the roguelite elements of Coal Mines in the chat says, my initial guess is the guy is part of a team / organization that's trying to either stop the sun from dying each time or stopping an entity that's causing it. I think Saros is probably what's causing the sun to die.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
Thing.
Yeah.
What is Saros though? What is causing it? Like
that thing at the end, right?
Whatever the thing, like whatever Saros is, I think
that thing is Saros.
I don't know that specifically is Saros, the arm guy.
You think it's a person though? Or a guy or a god?
Yes.
I think Saros could be the organization that sends them out. Like they all work for Saros. I think is one.
Could be.
I think Saros could be the name of the sun or the solar system that they're in. I think Saros
is the solar system is good.
I think Saros could be perhaps the name of like the ship that they drive or something like that. I don't know.
Sure. I'm gonna say Saros
I like the thought of it being the sun, like that is what they are calling this. The sun that keeps dying or whatever.
I agree. I'm gonna say that the name of the sun is Saros.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's the character in the game. The sun itself. My son.
Squanky says Patrick thinks Saros is getting vaccinated.
Wow.
Oh boy. Noah says Saros is an existing term. It's astronomy shit. It has to do with certain specific passage of time or something. Oh, okay. So maybe the phenomenon that the sun is causing of dying, and then Arjun Devraj keeps going back in time to try to stop it. Maybe this act is Saros. I'm gonna fucking Saros. I'm Sarosing.
Yay! Reminds me of Three Body Problem. That was
Oh
a
yeah.
good time.
I'm Sarosing. Yay is a great sequence of sound on a podcast. After that, we got Zero Parades. We've seen a tiny bit of this before. This is the Zaum game, the people that made Disco Elysium. We got a 2026 date. This is one of those ones where it's like, I'm torn because I loved Disco Elysium. Played it well after it came out. I played the whatever the version was that had all the voice acting added in and all that shit. And I really liked it. But since then, the studio has been in all sorts of hot water for being shitty. So it's like, for me, there's that balance of like wanting to play this video game, but also like, ugh, people suck. So I don't know. I'm sure, Jake, this did nothing for you. Is my assumption.
God. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in this.
Yeah.
I won't be mean about it. It's just not for me.
Yeah. Jerica, what about you?
I'm interested. I have never played Disco Elysium, so I've always wanted to. I just don't know if it's kind of one of the. I don't know. I think I like the idea of it, but I'm not really a big like. I feel like I'm gonna have to read a lot. Not that I don't want to read, but I just like, is the gameplay loop at all? I haven't even watched gameplay. I'll be honest. I am so oblivious to what this is. I just know people love the shit out of it.
Yeah, I think you would be exhausted by Disco, Jerica.
Okay. Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I need something that's like, can you parry? Can there be a parry in that game? Oh yeah,
It's
I don't know.
the nut of it is you are
nut.
Yeah, so you nut in this game. You're a detective that has lost his memory because he's an alcoholic. So it's like it's a detective game. It's just talking to people and figuring things out, and also like a bunch of internal shit that like you talk to your different psyches and shit. Yeah, I don't think it's a Jerica game. But I'm very interested to see if this game is basically just Disco, but in a new world with a new story, or if they're trying anything new, or if they're just completely bankrupt of ideas and they're just trying to recreate Disco.
So the smartest thing they could do.
Yeah, probably. After that, we got Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
Yeah.
How about that, Jake? Flying planes.
Yeah,
I've heard Flight Sim
repeatedly that 2024 has like a very broken campaign on PC and Xbox that is like still not fixed years into his launch, which is wild.
Do you think it launches broken?
Probably. No one's gonna play it anyway.
You're right. No one will. Yeah, because I haven't heard too many complaints from it. I just remember when I booted it up because I like to hop in there once in a while and like just fly a plane somewhere, and just due to how I really want to go through the campaign, actually play it because I haven't tested it. But the fact that I have to study for an aviation test, I was like, fuck, I don't have time for this. And this isn't real life. I'm not getting my points or my hours this way. I think I have to like record that properly. That's on my bucket list, y'all, like to get my pilot's license.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I know a pilot.
Almost committed, but I'm just like, I can't spend that much money right now, and it needs more. I need more time to do it. So, but it's on my to-do list.
Hey, Jake, can we plan a Microsoft Flight Sim stream?
Please, God.
And we do it via Parsec so that both of our we can both get to play, and then at some point,
let me be your air traffic controller.
Yes.
Good job.
And then I would like for us to role play in the cockpit. And at some point,
Officer Blunt.
Yes, I think you should be First Officer Blunt.
We will have someone in the back of the plane. Like I'll just go behind, like here, and be like, like I'm a baby crying. You gotta land on the plane when the baby's crying.
This is good. I just at some point I want to look to Jake and say, my controls.
My controls, right? Exactly.
Is all I want. It's all I want. After Flight Sim 2026, which also got a date of December 8, 2025, Battlefield 6. They showed a little bit of that. I think we probably already had the date for Battlefield 6, but it's coming out in October. Maybe we didn't. Maybe that was news. I just don't follow these types of games enough to know if this was news or not. Jake, you don't care about Battlefield, do you?
I am really like interested in Battlefield this year. I think their beta was really strong and there's a lot of buzz about it, but it is such a complex situation with like military, what would you call those, military sims these days? Just first person shooters, I guess, competitive first person shooter war games. I mean, basically, it's a 2-horse race between Call of Duty and Battlefield 6 this year, right? We have Black Ops 7 versus Battlefield 6. But things are so weird now because Call of Duty has been yearly. It's been a while since Battlefield has been in the market. But now, in addition to Battlefield trying to rear its head, and it looks like it's coming correct, you have Call of Duty on Game Pass and a Call of Duty ecosystem that's been thriving off of Game Pass for 2 years now. And I wonder if those players, because I'm not talking about you and I and the people that are online talking about this. I'm talking about Joe Schmo who only buys 2 games a year and they are fucking EA Sports FC and Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Does he go in there and say, this year I want Battlefield? The homies and I are playing Battlefield?
Yes. I think a lot of people do. Like I've heard, like I work with people that's all they play and like very excited about, and they played the beta and they got really excited. I think a lot of people are thirsty to, like, if those gamers, the Call of Duty gamers, are really thirsty to play something else. They don't even care if it's like, I guess it might not even be their cup of tea, as because like I hate the big open destructive environments. Like it's not appealing to me. I had the most fun playing the early access or whatever, just on the smaller maps, smaller team fights like you would typically in Call of Duty. But I've heard a lot of, inside of my friend group, I have a few gamer friends that do Call of Duty, and they're really excited for Battlefield.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how it pans out. I just don't know, like, it's going to be so hard to measure the success of it outside of, like, I guess it seems weird, but I feel like viewership on Twitch is a really good way to measure the success of a video game these days. Like, as far as what their opening night looks like, or how many people are actively watching it or viewing it or streaming it, and what those numbers look like, because we're never going to get concrete numbers on Call of Duty ever again. It's all going to be locked behind Game Pass. They'll say how many players there were. We won't find out how many copies were sold on PlayStation or anything like that. We might get concrete numbers from EA, but even those, there's some EA Play Access stuff that's going on as well. It'll be impossible to compare. I just don't know who is the runaway victor or how we determine it exactly.
Well, I do think that EA, because they have so much fucking money, I think you're going to turn on Thursday Night Football, you're going to turn on Monday Night Football, you're going to turn on Saturday afternoon college football, and you're going to get so many fucking Battlefield ads, because I think they're going to market the fucking ever-loving shit out of this game. Because you're probably right, Jerica, where like, because of, you know, the average gamer that just is in this kind of an ecosystem, they want a new fucking thing, and they're finally getting it. But Dan Good in the chat does make a good point. He says, I feel like as much as people love the Battlefield 6 multiplayer, it's super divisive right now with the cosmetics. This seems fresh, but I also feel like Battlefield multiplayer is so busted at launch. I feel like that the busted at launch bit is the most important part, because I think something like Call of Duty is easy because if you have Game Pass, you get it for free. And Noah in the chat was saying that there's going to be some demo situation for Battlefield 6 in Game Pass. But if this game doesn't launch clean, and that first week, everybody, he's talking about Black Ops 6, not Battlefield, my bad. And everybody in the fucking, on TikTok isn't saying, you got to go play Battlefield 6. They're saying Battlefield 6 is broken, then it's done. I would assume, but we'll see.
Sure.
After this, we got Deus Ex Remastered, which I think is one of the only things that was not a known quantity going into this state of play that was talked about. February 5th, 2026 is when we're getting this. It's done by Aspire, so it's going to be janky and shitty in a lot of ways. They're the ones that did the KOTOR remakes and tried to do the full as well. Battlefront. They tried to do the full from the ground up remake of KOTOR that died because of how bad apparently it was. So at first I was like, ooh, cool. I've never played the original Deus Ex. I love the genre. This is the one that in a lot of ways started it all, Jake. But I don't know, hearing that as Aspire, I'm going to absolutely take a wait and see approach, and also see, okay, what are the words on the street in 8 months after it's released? Does the game even run? We'll see. Jerica, is this doing anything for you?
Nope.
Nothing. Jake?
I'd rather have a day of sex, if you know what I'm saying.
God.
Did you just say day of sex?
Correct.
Go to tiktok.com/Jake Twitching.
Woo.
Halloween, the game, coming September 8th, 2026. This one was surprising that they gave a date so far in advance.
Like, not this October? Like,
Right.
next month? Like, what the fuck? That's
Very
so
strange. This also is just not my kind of game. What do you call it when it's like one person versus a few? There's a name for that.
Asymmetric.
Asymmetric. I don't love the asymmetric multiplayer games. I mean, I just don't really love multiplayer in general. Jake, did Halloween the game do anything for you?
No, but I worry for this game because the Friday the 13th game is like a spitting image of. Well, this is a spitting image of that game, and there was a nightmare with that, with like licensing an IP to the point of like that game was kind of beloved, and then they tried to save it, but they had an expiration on the game. So like 2 years after it came out, that game just ceases to exist. So you cannot buy that.
Crazy.
The servers are down. You cannot play it, and it's not from. I mean, I'm sure if it was really successful, they could have made a bigger push for it, but not from an explicit lack of success.
Sure. Would it be safe to assume that Last Epoch and the Seven Deadly Sins Origins really didn't move any needles for any of us here on this podcast?
No.
Correct.
Great.
But
Then let's talk a
Seven
little bit
Deadly
about
Sins is
Sonic
fucking-
Racing. Go ahead.
Seven Deadly Sins is fucking paying bills though. Whoever's behind that has cash because that has like funded the last 3 Keeley events, and I see it pop up everywhere. It's
Yeah,
insane.
they're all over it.
Interesting.
They're just shelling out cash.
Yeah.
And some fucking nerds are going to be shelling out some cash now that Proto Man is in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, Jake.
I know. I bought it. I'm so dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb. That was
Also
dumb.
Mega Man.
I was over Sonic Racing Crossworlds within 24 hours of its early access period. It comes out tomorrow, by the way.
Oh God. I was really hoping that we would get the Mega Man from what's the Mega Man game where like the voice acting is so bad and it's like, hello, Dr. Wily. Are you familiar with this?
No.
There's like an old meme of a Mega Man something where like the voice acting is just so bad that it sounds like somebody took 5 minutes to record all of the VO lines in the game. But someone just keeps calling Dr. Wily Dr. Wily. Like it's very good. Yeah, I forget what it is. But Noah says that's all of them. There is one specific one I'm talking about that I remember specifically. But so yeah, we're getting that. I don't remember if it's like they're out at launch or if they're adding them later because I wasn't paying attention because I don't care about Sonic Racing Crossworlds. But after that, we got Neo 3 coming February 6th, 2026. Yet another game I don't care about. Jake, how about you? Any Neo, anything?
I got some fatigue.
Yeah, stop it. Jerica?
In terms of Neo fatigue or
Yeah.
just I'm just sort of there's some games like I know what Neo is, but like when I saw that I'm like, I feel like have I seen this game already? And if I have, is it that other game or is this a different game?
Yeah.
No offense
I do
to
think
these games.
that is a little bit what Jake refers to with his fatigue.
Okay.
All right. It's Asian fatigue, and it's only about the video games. It's the setting in which you are doing sword slashes and fucking dodge rolls and like this whole thing. I just can't. Props to you guys if you're able to do it, but if you can sit there and play Assassin's Creed Shadows this year, Ghosts of Yotei this year, and then get excited for fucking Neo 3 and Ninja Gaiden 4, I'm so glad you're eating good.
Well, and there's also like 3 other ones in there.
I know, I'm being
name
lenient. It's like ever since
Silent
Sekiro.
Silent Hill F has been sort of really enjoyable. I'm really glad to see this franchise like in Japan. And it's obviously, is that not in the same category? That's the type of Japanese
that would
involvement
including
that
Silent Hill
F
would make it even more problematic. No, I hear what you're saying. I just keep saying that we need to workshop a better name than Asian fatigue. I think we can say like ancient.
I'm just saying.
No, for sure. But like feudal Japan /
That's it.
Souls-like elements, fucking parry mechanics. Like there's a bulleted list that they all have to include.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's an aesthetic thing too, and like just the style of each of these games is so similar, I can't tell them apart. And not trying to make this conversation worse, I'm just gonna
Right.
shut up because like
Sure,
everything I say is my
But no,
positive
no.
intent here.
To be serious about it, though, is like when you look at like a Black Myth Wukong and then Stellar Blade and then like all of these games that are set in like that generalized setting, and they all have like really well. I guess Stellar Blade is a different combat style. That's more of like the Bayonetta type, like the really fast action. So don't include Stellar Blade in this, but the Wu Chang Fallen Dynasty, the
Yes.
Neo, like the where it's like it's basically
Rise
this like
of the
third
Ronin.
Rise of the Ronin, third person, very much like dodging, parrying, that kind of combat, and a lot of them have like a very very similar aesthetic that I think 10 years ago, a bunch of people in a bunch of different studios were like, this is a missing type of game.
Yeah.
Everyone had that same idea, and they're all coming out within the last 2 years because that's how long it takes to have these games come to life. Not 10 years ago, but and it just it's tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think eliminating Stellar Blade from that list is smart because visually, like I think honestly, gameplay wise, you can loop fucking Stellar Blade in. But if you take the visual aesthetic out of it, then I would say Stellar Blade kind of sets itself apart as a sci-fi story, you know, more so than
For sure.
like that setting. I think Ninja Gaiden starts to blur that line a little bit of like there's still some like cyberpunky crazy like technological stuff happening in Ninja Gaiden that I think separates it from the pack. One of the ones that I really worry about that I want to love and it kind of letting it skate by on IP alone, but it also looks pretty silly goofy, is Onimusha Way of the Sword, where like
Yeah.
you take a franchise that I loved that used to play a certain way that I liked because it wasn't a crazy hack and slash parry fest, and you basically made it a cookie cutter of like all the games that I kind of loathe right now that I'm sick of.
Yeah.
Sucks.
It's tough. Ike in the chat says, quick fix, we bring back zombies. I don't know if that's the exact answer. I think I'm still a little burnt out on zombies.
I want more tiny trucks.
Ooh, tiny trucks. That's the answer.
Yeah, tiny trucks.
You said you want more. Where did you get tiny trucks
where are the tiny
to
trucks
get you
so
to want
far?
more?
It's still the idea. God, I can find the YouTube video, but there's a gal that went out and did like all the video games with tiny trucks are just hitting hard. And there's like literally a game that comes out hopefully sometime soon, early next year, called Truckful, and it's this little tiny truck going through it's like you have to get everything in the truck bed that organized a certain way, because if you hit a bump on the road, your equipment's going to fall out, but then you go off the beaten path, and of course it's a tiny truck, like
sure,
you know, top down like it's a tiny truck, and the forest has an evil truck inside of it trying to knock you off the road.
Whoa.
Basically, yes, Death Stranding, but with the truck. There's certain games that I like organizing and taking things from point A to point B, but
I love that.
and then Delivery Co just came out.
Oh yeah.
Looks with the little like really old school looking graphics, and like little cat people. That looks cute.
LFG.
They have tiny trucks too.
I love that. Okay, it's tiny truck season, I fear.
I am not tired of tiny truck.
Okay. In a stunning turn of events, Noah said something nice about me. He says, Patrick's point about the length of time to make these projects and hitting on the same idea is very true. Look at the slew of live service hero shooters over the last 24 months that all started in the aftermath of Overwatch 1's first big wave of success. Very true. With the fucking Marvel Rivals, we got fucking... I don't pay enough attention to that genre to have more examples, but it's there. It's very a good point. Concord, he says. Dynasty Warriors 3 remastered. Anybody care?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm
kind of Dynasty Warriors slut?
The Dynasty Warriors 3 was like one of those blockbuster weekend rentals one weekend that just consumed myself and like 3 other buddies for 48 hours and sent us down a path of like, holy fuck, Musou games are so rad, like the old like 1 versus 1000, smacking through a bunch of people. And I played, you guys will never fucking believe what they added to Dynasty Warrior Origins earlier this year. That's right, parries and Souls-like elements are back on the menu, baby. So to see a remaster that's a nice coat of paint, but the old school Musou style is a godsend for me, who doesn't like the direction that they've been taking with Dynasty Warriors so far. But yeah, I'm in. That's a day one for me. That's a fun game.
He said.
Musou, correct.
Musou.
What do you call him?
Musou is what I've said, but I don't know that that's right. That's just
no. I think it sounds correct. I can't.
Musou reminded me. Is anybody familiar with the Kevin Federline song "Popo Zao"?
I fear that I am. Kevin Federline of Britney Spears' marriage fame.
Yeah.
K-Fed.
K-Fed, yeah.
Right.
If you've never seen the music video for Popo Zao, go watch it. It's fucking it's so bad. It's great.
Fun story. Me and my friend dressed up as I was K-Fed for a Halloween party in high school that one time.
Oh
yeah.
my god! Please retrieve.
I can probably find a picture. Yeah.
We do need photos of Jerica K-Fed for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Code Vein 2 came up next in the PlayStation State of Play. Didn't do much for me, but is there anybody in the panel that wants to talk about Code Vein 2?
Code Vein.
All right. After that was Final Fantasy Tactics Evil.
Let me make fun of Code Vein. I'm not done.
Not mind me. I'm just looking at this other tiny truck game I'm really excited about and what everybody know about. It's called Over the Hill. Great tiny truck game that's coming soon.
All right, Code Vein 2. What do you got, Jake?
Control says, I'd like to talk about two things in Code Vein 2, which is very good.
Is that the one that just started with like a big pair of tits at the very beginning?
I believe so.
Oh yeah, I remember that part.
We talked about that a lot on the reaction. There was a lot of motorboating.
It seems like Code Vein, people have forgot that like Code Vein 1 is just like a 6 out of 10 Souls-like that was first to market in knocking off Souls-like 6 years ago, and they added anime booba, and now people are excited for it. Like, I don't think that game is going to come out and be very good, unfortunately. That's my guess. I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise me, but I can't imagine that game reviewing at a Metacritic higher than 77.
Very specific.
Jake, I think I'm realizing how much power I have in that calling Phil Collins Uncle Phil sent the chat into a fucking fervor, and it's still getting play in the chat right now from Noah. They can't handle that I called Phil Collins Uncle Phil. And I'm realizing I have a power, and I think I might be abusing it at some point. Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles, is a game I'm excited about. I didn't need to see it again, but I'm going to play it. Jake, you going to play it?
Yeah, I'm going in day one, but this started the section of the State of Play that, again, I feel like is bought and paid for, because they introduced this game. It was like we had two talking people that I'm not positive that we have seen talk before on a State of Play. The co-heads of third-party gaming or something like that. I forgot the exact title during the State of Play. And then they introduced a game or two, and then they tossed it over to the Final Fantasy Tactics director. I don't know off the top of my head. If it was
sorry, I was like, no, they've been on a lot of them. Like, I didn't see anyone new.
Definitely possible. If only I had a way to show you guys who I'm talking about. It's these folks here who were out here.
Schumann?
Sean Benson. Yeah.
So then they kick it over to my friend over here with Final Fantasy Tactics. And then they do that same thing for like 3 other individuals. And I feel like these sections were all more than I needed out of any of these games. Even Final Fantasy, which I'm hot on, like it comes out in fucking 5 days. We're ready for the game. I don't need a whole to do about it. Again, it just feels like more of an advertisement than anything else. And then the worst thing that can possibly happen is at least this one did it in the right way. Talk about the game, then show it. There is no worse feeling than them showing a game you're not interested in and then cutting to some people that are going to talk at the camera for a minute. And it's like about the previous game that they showed that you're not fucking interested in. Whoa.
That's a great point. Squinky says, "Is that guy wearing Patrick's shirt?" I didn't. Can we roll back the tape?
I'm quite
curious. Is it Sid Schumann shirt? That? Let's get a zoom in on that.
Wow, yeah, same shirt.
Sure, I in the small view I see it.
Looks like you guys both went to Dan Flash's.
The amount of patterns are so intense.
His must have been more expensive. Yours is kind of
definitely much more expensive.
Right.
Absolutely more expensive. Let It Die, Inferno was next, with the guy wearing the crazy mask that cost no less than 90 cents. Or no more, rather, than 90 cents. This game, I liked how wacky it seemed, but the gameplay just PvPvE is like the quickest way to get me to not give a shit.
The name on the man in the mask, for those keeping track at home, is Uncle Death, not to be confused with Uncle Phil.
It's Phil's brother, Death.
Right.
Yeah. These fucking people, man. I tell you
Did you ask if we cared about this? Because I don't.
Oh, no. I just assumed no one cares about Let It Die Inferno. Which, let the record reflect that this is like 11 games in a row where like basically none of us have given a shit.
It's one of the weakest lineups they've ever had on the State of Play.
It's been so bad. And it's not for a few more that it even really starts to matter. We got Chrono Script, The Endless Night. Some people might go to bat for this for its art style. At first I was like, maybe this is something, but the more I saw it, the less interested
too much of that ornate, like just very fine details. And I'm like, this is going to hurt my eyes after some time.
Reminds me of like a Braid in some ways, the art
Right,
style.
yeah,
like
that's what it was.
Perspective here.
I agree.
But I think when I was streaming, I said, I was like, well, they're striking at the right time because Silksong fans need a new fucking hyperfixation, which is where will they land is anyone's guess. They've still got a year of fighting with Expedition 33 fans to figure that out.
Yeah, that's true. After Let It Die, no, Chrono Script, The Endless End, which, what a subtitle. We got a date for Crimson Desert, which is March 19th, 2026. I do feel that the more I see Crimson Desert, the less interested I become in this game. Also, I'm still a little unclear, and this is a me problem, not a them problem. I'm sure they've been very clear in their messaging, and I've just missed it. Is this an MMO, like a full, or is this a single player game? I don't know. What's happening here? Anybody know?
Single player.
Single player?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
maybe.
That's how I've always seen it.
That's what I got. That's what I gathered more.
I think you might be
well, I'm certainly more interested.
Black Desert, like Black Desert Online, maybe?
I'm thinking of Black Desert Online. You can't have a different color in front of the word desert.
Oh, wait,
and
no,
expect
fuck.
me.
This was originally planned to be a prequel to Black Desert Online.
Fuck.
I'm on the wiki now.
Well,
you hate to see it.
Colemine says it's a single player game made by former MMO devs. So.
Okay.
That's something. But I do agree with Heroic Headgear that this probably has one more delay in the chamber. March 19th.
I got another one.
Feels a bit shaky.
Delayed.
Right.
After this is when I knew we were fucking cooked. Is when they showed us speakers and they said, with no price, because these are going to be at least $400, the Pulse Elevate wireless speakers, Jake. You're going to get fucking 6 of them, aren't you?
Dude, it's so stupid. I don't know who this is for. It's so crazy. I was saying that this is like, we're only going to see those speakers in those weird staged, like, look at my setup Instagram posts and TikTok, like aesthetic fucking, hey, look at my gaming space, cozy gaming night. And it's like the cleanest desk with no wires that you've ever seen. There's someone that doesn't live in fucking human reality will have these PlayStation speakers.
Okay. We can find them and hurt them if you want. It seems like you really want to.
or hurt. Yeah. I mean,
I think I might have been sold on them a little bit more if they weren't so big. So
Sure.
when I saw it, like side by side the place, I was like, I don't have like a lot of space on my desk. I have these speakers right now, but they're just long and tall and they fit perfectly.
I can't show you on my desk. It's horrible.
It's
there's just things everywhere.
My computer speakers in like 3 years.
Maybe because you don't have some decent audio. If you get a small one, it's nice.
Speakers, they're not so bad. It's a decent
brand. Oh yeah, then you're fine. You just don't listen. No, I misunderstood then. It's like you don't listen to, you just use headphones.
Just headphones. I think it's the wireless.
It hurts my ears.
I like being able to fucking just get up and bail and still have it in my ear. I don't want to be with my own thoughts. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm playing music through these speakers though, like when I'm doing stuff. So.
But Jake, are you the kind of person you can't have silence like ever? Jake?
No, my brain is so broken. Yeah, it's bad. I have a white noise machine in my office and my bedroom. I have like a fan or an air conditioner going at all times, a podcast while I'm in the shower. The worst thing that can happen is just me with my own thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. I think Jake's going to be the first person to get like the brain chip that is speakers.
So in.
Which is going to be run by ChatGPT for sure.
GBT.
We got some PlayStation Plus games. Alan Wake 2, 2023 Game of the Year. Goat Simulator 3, and Cocoon. A pretty good PlayStation State of Play or PlayStation Plus lineup, if you're going to show me the PlayStation Plus games in a state of play, this is the bare minimum of the games that you have to show me for sure. And then when they showed us The Last of Us Part 2, I about lost my mind. I was like, if they announce a new Last of Us anything, the internet will lose its mind. Instead, it was just that the game is coming to the game catalog as part of TLU Day, which they used to call Outbreak Day until COVID happened, which is in 2 days on Friday.
I'm pretty
and then
sure
after that, go ahead.
That they've done this exact thing for the Last of Us Day, where they were like, but this time you get a 2-hour, we're excited to bring you a 2-hour free trial of The Last of Us Part 2 available today for PlayStation Plus members. And now we're upgrading it to full game. It's like, oh God, any chance they get to mention it.
They need to just stop doing The Last of Us Day, because, and then when there is something cool to announce and they say, we have an announcement for The Last of Us Day, then we can all fucking lose our minds and be excited.
That's BioWare and fucking Mass Effect Day. It's every year. And they give us 30 new seconds of something from the new game every year now. And that's sort of exciting, but it sucks. It does suck.
It's true.
It makes the anniversaries seem less like important too. Like so many operate off of like 5-year anniversaries. You get Mario 30th, 35th, 40th. If every year was like the Mario's fucking birthday thing, which to a certain extent it is, but I'm fucking preaching to the choir. March 10th is a fucking failure almost every year.
Every
Mario
year.
Day.
Mario's 41st anniversary.
Shit.
It's going to go crazy. Last two announcements. The God of War DualSense, which was getting a lot of play in the Discord. dropinDropoutPod.com, join the Discord. A lot of people divisive on this little thing.
Yeah.
I think it's so sexy. Jake, what do you think about this DualSense?
I really hate like the limited edition controller culture of like these $80 purchases that I need to make so that I can have the thing that looks cool. I think the smartest thing that I did this console generation to get out of that, because I used to get caught up on PS4 and on Xbox One and whatnot with these collectors things, was buy the DualSense Edge so that I don't really have a use for like these other ones where like, okay, now that I have that, it doesn't make sense for me to buy a $70 God of War controller to use for a couple days until my Astrobot controller comes in and then my Last of Us controller comes in. It's cool, but
very true.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad fucking value proposition for the average consumer. But if you're in the market for a fucking controller, maybe the nice one's there. I
just really wish that, and I hope that this, for some reason, I just want this controller to carry on to the next system. Like, please, God, let it do it. Because, like, I mean, I know there were a lot of PS4 controllers, but it really sucks. I can't use some of those. I'm so glad I can, because I don't like how those feel. Which they'll probably come out with the controller that I love how that feels now versus this. But like, I really would like to keep some of my controllers this generation, because I just feel like it hasn't been that long, and I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to buy this one, most likely, because I already have two. I have the last God of War one and I have the Astrobot one. So it's like, I'd be fucking crazy to buy a third special edition, because right now it's just like, if one's dead, I'll grab the other one. And if that one's dead, then this one has now been charged. But it's like, now if one of these broke in between now and when that, but like, that's not going to happen.
Smash one off your wall right now. Which one do you like less?
That's a great question. I think I maybe like the Astrobot one less, but it's also newer, so it feels better. So I don't know.
Sort of wish, I mean, I guess I technically can use this. I'll have the Death Stranding.
Ooh, nice.
PS4 controller is probably my favorite controller.
Can we talk? I got a little something I can show too. This is my favorite PlayStation controller. It is it's a little hard to see with my bad lighting, but this is the 500 million one where they were commemorating it. Cool. It's the see-through blue, which is really slick. There's a matching console for it too, but I think I got this one separately when I was working at GameStop.
Yeah, that's sexy. I remember when that came out.
But now its lunch has been eaten by the vastly superior and far better looking Xbox Sky Blue fucking see-through controller. It's unbelievable.
I have the Starfield. I don't have any Xbox controllers around. I have the Starfield one, and I have the one. It's like that, but it's not translucent, and it's like a couple different blues. It's like an oceany vibe. The Death Stranding one's very good.
It's the same color as my P. Tell Cayman.
Whoa, there you go.
We talked about that today.
I do wish that they would let them go from system to system, though, because I have the 20th anniversary PS4 PlayStation controller, the PS1 gray, which is so nice, but I didn't then go buy the PS5 version of it because it's like I already had.
It's so sexy though. That's probably my
display
favorite. I
do you
use the only
display that,
controller I
Jerica?
use. What?
Like the PS4 controller, is that like usually like
that's
on your
great.
shelf behind you, like on display?
It's going to be because like this is a real brick wall, and I gotta get a tool to like drill in it. And one day, like Audrey actually has it like shelves 3D printed for me to put these.
Nice, yeah. Because that's
I just
what I was
turned on the PlayStation.
thinking about doing. Is I have like some of those like acrylic displays that I have for like the Zelda Wii remotes, so the Mario Wii remotes, and then the Switch Joy-Cons for like the Skyward Sword ones. And I do like a nice controller, and I think like a really cool display would be like a PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5 controller, all kind of
Like
sequential
get
like
your
that.
favorite one. Like if one is like the God of War one is really cool, and I'm torn on it. I like it. My girlfriend's like, we don't need another controller, and she's right. We got the DualSense. To your point, Jake, like that is the controller I'm using primarily. So like at some point with all the controllers from Sony, we got to just pick one. You pick one, and that is your one or two. Because I used to be in that same rabbit hole, but it's not worth it.
Get some offset joysticks on these things.
Joysticks.
Not for me. I do fear that not fear. Having two is like the max. As much as I would like to get if one, like I like the God of War one a lot, but it would have to be like the best controller I've ever seen to then go get a third one, because it's just like
it seems like they just put a little scar on there. That's it. This is a white controller.
I mean, they did. I think it looks
it.
so good. Yeah.
Like, why does it have to be so expensive?
It's like, and it also like I think there's like it looks specifically like bone fucking white, and maybe it's because there is the pad is the same weight as well, and there's just like very little, the grips on the back, same deal. It is an interesting and pretty like unique looking controller, I think, more so than the other weight limited edition controllers.
I do kind of feel like, though, like looking at that DualSense Edge, that was how much money did you spend on that, Jerica?
It was like a $200 controller at least.
200 flat, yeah.
I just don't think I can spend $200 on a controller that's just white. You know what I mean? Like I want. That's I think
the anniversary version. They've only had two, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because she told me if the God of War one, if it was a DualSense Edge, she might get one more controller. But just the fact they've only had two variations of the Edge. Is this one in the 30th anniversary? Oh, the black one. There's a black one too.
Yeah, I did it because I typically do, like, I don't use my controllers hard, but for the last couple of console generations on PlayStation specifically, my joysticks have gone. Like, if not the actual like integrity of the joystick itself kind of staying like center and firm, then the actual like texture of the joystick getting kind of worn down like under my thumb. And the way that I kind of weighed it out was like, these things are fucking $70 a piece. If I just replace the thumbsticks once for $20, then I've gotten my money's worth out of this thing if I have to do it a single more time. So
sure.
And also, realistically, it's probably saved me $70 twice from buying special edition fucking controllers.
Sure. No, that's fair.
That's maybe the best part that it's ever done.
The back pedals do make a big difference. I like having those.
Yeah, I've never had my hands on either the DualSense Edge or the Xbox Elite. Do they call it the Elite?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I've never.
Yeah.
Because I think if I hold one, then I'm probably gonna want one. And
I've got two more things. First
Pro
of all,
controllers, I love that thing.
Oh, now that's a fucking controller. Give me a Kratos scar down the side of that fucking thing. Oh my god.
The Elite Controller Series 2 is 100% the best video game controller ever made for any console. Currently available at your local retailer for like $250, and I truly believe that it is the best the best controller ever made. I think it is fucking perfect. I have no notes. I don't know what I would say about it to change.
Are you holding it right now?
No, I'm holding a surprise to show you guys. I don't think
you're holding a surprise. Okay. You could be right. I just don't like the way then the Xbox controller feels compared to. I prefer the PlayStation glove, or the it's not even the offset sticks. I just like the way that this feels in my hand more, or the Pro controller for Switch. That one there's something about the Xbox one just doesn't feel right to me.
It
Jake, is that
boggles my
D-pad on
mind.
that on the every Xbox controller? The D-pad's way too clicky. It's so
It
fucking
is
loud.
very fucking clicky. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It is a disc, but this thing is a fucking dream. And it comes right off magnetically, and you can put the actual like plus on it too if you would rather it not be the disc, which I think is really nice.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Really slick. Yeah, I think it's perfect. I don't know. I put this thing, and it's like without having to adjust my hands at all, everything just like fits in perfect, and my fingers fall to the exact right spot. Whereas every time I grab the PlayStation, the DualSense, I feel like I need to extend my thumbs and pull them down to the thumbsticks and like reorganize my fucking hands. It's very annoying.
You know what?
You have a
Portal
surprise for us.
Look
I'm
at
sorry,
this.
Jerica.
And I'm not gonna try to take it just real quick. The Portal, the PlayStation Portal. I've been using it a little bit more now because Audrey got one, and that thing fucking hurts my hands. It's
Really? Oh, that sucks.
It does, because like it puts so much. This is just so robust. So like, you know, the Portal has the same thing on the edge. Like, and I guess like I'm having to push in like to hold it. Maybe I'm just fucking weak. I don't know, but it hurts the inside of my palm because I'm like having to.
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah, I don't know that you need to push in to hold it.
It might be because
to
my hands
push
are
in.
small though too.
Oh, could be.
I have small
think
hands.
If
Could
you're
be.
just playing it and like supporting it yourself, then like outside of
Grab
like
this
gripping
bitch
it
and look
really
at it real
tight, you
quick.
kind of just have to put some pressure on the sides. I feel like I've been noticing that I'm playing Vita a lot lately,
keep
and that's kind
going.
of the same deal. Kind of the same deal.
Jerica
You
said,
ready for my
"Fuck
surprise?
you." I'm so ready.
All right, I'm gonna show it. Check this out.
What an episode.
Whoa.
The Jake Twitchin custom controller.
How about that?
Very dope, right?
Very
I
good.
want a custom controller.
I know, I got it as a gift when I started
gave it to you?
streaming. Squanky
Aw.
Joinkers.
Squanky.
When I started fucking
Aw.
streaming, hooked it up with this, and it's been on display and used for special occasions only ever since. What a time.
I hope you just slurp it all up, Jake, with Squanky.
You should be so lucky.
God.
Yep. When I reach in with my fingers here, I'm having to reach so far because my thumb.
Sure. No, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
where I've just really never thought about it, but that is what
Yeah.
it is. I
That's
need
fair.
longer thumbs.
No, I'm telling you, you need a better designed controller. You got perfect. Don't let anyone tell you your thumbs aren't perfect.
You have
Thank
the
you,
best
Jake.
thumbs I've
That
ever
was really
seen.
nice.
Jerica.
Huh?
You have the best thumbs I've ever seen. Ever.
Hey,
It's
when
very
you guys
good.
do thumbs up, how far back does your thumb curl? Check out my mutant ass thumbs, dude.
Whoa.
I mean, I
Look at that
could
shit.
push it back
That's
pretty far.
cool.
I'm just not a fucking psychopath.
I just let it fucking go. It's like a
I mean, you can
90-degree angle.
go
love
you can go
trying to
straight
hitch,
up. can't you?
hitch
Yeah,
a
I guess.
ride.
That's weird.
I'd be like,
I
look
feel
at
like
that
you
guy's
kind
thumb.
of when I go thumbs up, I kind of just lock it into place, and that's just the direction that it goes.
When I do a thumbs up, I lock it into place.
Don't you? Are you fucking giving half-ass thumbs up, dude?
How much Tylenol did your mom have?
Just right enough to make me a Metal Gear fan.
God.
We closed out the state of play with Wolverine, Marvel's Wolverine from Insomniac Games. We got a few minutes of a trailer, and then they did the thing which I think they should do at every state of play, where they show the last game and then they show about 5 minutes of the devs talking. I think it was a really nice touch, Jake. What do you think?
Fuck up, dude. Nobody talking shit about this. I am so fucking mad. All right, everyone turned on Tokon so bad because it had an extension of the state of play to have the developers talk about the game that I was interested in. And now all of a sudden that it's fucking Wolverine, everybody's okay with it. But when it was Tokon, it's the worst thing they've ever done in the goddamn state of play, dude.
Earlier in your stream, someone was giving you shit. It was probably Coal Mines about the Tokon thing, and you were like, "No, just because you don't like the game, you think it was bad."
Correct.
And as I'm watching this, I'm like, I like the game, and I'm like, oh, he was right. I'm actually
Correct.
interested in this because I like Wolverine and I want to know about Wolverine. I just didn't give a shit about Tokon, Dokon, McFokon, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Tokon Panic.
Yeah.
Oh.
But this trailer looked very good. I am very fucking in. I think it answered a lot of questions that I had of like, and that a lot of people had of like, what's the fighting style going to be like? Are they going to go the actual like gory route, or is it going to be weirdly toned down? This game is fucking gory. We saw a guy get his head clawed. We saw a guy get ripped in half. This is going to be a fucking gory fucking game. And Kayla asks, did we get a date? Fall 2026. No actual date, just sometime in the fall. But Jerica, what did you think about the Wolverine trailer?
I think it's phenomenal. It looks incredible. I'm so glad Insomniac is finally ready to show us this game because it's been way too fucking long. They showed this when at the beginning of the decade, I feel like. Was it 2020, 2021? Sometime. No, I'm going too far.
No, I think you're absolutely correct.
I think it was 2021 when they first showed this.
Yeah, so it's been so long and like, man, nothing, and we finally get a taste of it. So and I'm not a big Wolverine knower. So
Okay.
y'all, do we have no Wolverine fans here? Chat. Let me hear
I'm a
ya.
Wolverine fan.
Okay,
Same.
we got
Yeah.
some. Okay, so I got some questions.
Okay.
It seems
ready
like
to
the
answer.
story, and I know we don't have. Oh my god, this is perfect. Wolverine's here. I have questions for you. Are you the Wolverine in the Insomniac game? Are you the same Wolverine in this universe? Cool.
No doubt.
No
Okay,
doubt, he
okay.
says. No doubt, bub.
Hey,
It does appear that Wolverine in the game has been it has been living this lifestyle for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Unlike Spider-Man, Spider-Man sort of has his powers. You get to know him. He's not early on in like what's presented in the movies a lot of times, trying to learn about his powers and whatnot. Seems the same for Wolverine here. But this does appear to be not super. I'm just used to Wolverine being old at this point.
Sure.
This looks like maybe a prime Wolverine. So do we get Wolverine, maybe not at the beginning stages of how he's handling being a mutant, but like, is this a part of the chapter where he learns to control it? Can he control his ability? Can he go berserk and not reel it in? Like can he accidentally hurt somebody? So I think that would be a really interesting take on Wolverine as we're playing Wolverine.
Well, so I'm not like an uber knower, but X-Men has always been my favorite of all the superhero franchises. And so like with Omega Red being the villain, it seems there's probably going to be more than just Omega Red, but Omega Red was another like Weapon X thing, which is how Wolverine got his claws. So it'll probably have something to do with the Weapon X program, as most of his stories often do. But I don't think we saw enough.
Okay.
To really know like timeline wise. But then in the post interview, which I think is always a great idea, and I think they should do it more often, when they were saying that like something interesting about Wolverine is that he can be an unreliable narrator because he doesn't always remember everything because he's been around for so long and all of his healing and all this bullshit. So it does seem like maybe I feel like him saying that there's going to be memory issues with Wolverine is one of the only clues we got about the actual story of this game. But it does seem like from what we've seen, he's got the X-Men Yellow and Blue. So he's in some capacity has been with the X-Men at this point in the game, because that's a costume he gets as part of that. So him, being alone, we don't know if it's probably safe to assume there's going to be some kind of X-Men cameos in this game, especially because we have the costume. But yeah, I don't know. He definitely looks on the younger side. So
yeah,
Jake, where's your head at?
I think we don't get a young Wolverine. I think that even though Wolverine looks young, Wolverine just always looks like Wolverine. I'm pretty sure because he's like fucking. Well, he's not an immortal being, is he?
He's not immortal. He just
he heals. He heals.
He heals. So his life is extended like considerably.
Here's my guess on this story: is I think that it is. I'm drawing most of this from the interview that they just had and the things that they talked about. And if I'm trying to really put it all together, I'm guessing that this game is told from the future, where we're going to have like an old man Logan talking about his old adventure as Wolverine at a pivotal point in his life. And it'll be a flashback of like, maybe it's like how he sees it happening or how it really happened. But I think they're going to play with him in his odd fucking memory, I guess, is what I am thinking is the key here. And then the other thing that they said during the interview, the lead here with the funky ass yellow shirt, was that they really wanted to explore like the I guess dichotomy would be the right word, of like Wolverine being like this cold-blooded, merciless killer, but then can turn a page and be like this really kind and warm-hearted and like loving individual. And I think that's what they're really going to try to get to here, is like, I think that they are going to try to tell a Wolverine story that makes us cry, which has been done.
Yes.
You've seen fucking Logan, but I think that they are going to try to tell like a story that is him wrestling with, you know, his violence and his actions and his past. And none of this that I'm saying is fucking like novel or anything like that. I think that they've done everything there is to do with Wolverine probably in the comics. Someone's watching this and they're ready to fucking say they already did that in Old Man Logan. But
I think the first game, I mean, there's been Wolverine games, but I think to this point where they can really have you dialed into like what Wolverine's thinking, like I'm eager to not like Wolverine a little bit in this game. Like,
Okay.
I hope he does things that we feel sort of shitty about. Not trying to bring in Last of Us. I unfortunately I've made a connection I didn't mean to, but like hearing the blog post and them talking about like how he can go berserk and like how that potentially could play with mechanics and how he plays, like I have a feeling that he might not be able to control it when he gets really angry. Not like the Hulk, but
for sure. I'm very interested to see if the like berserk moments are scripted or if it's like the God of War press L3 R3 to have Spartan rage. Or if there's something where like both are true.
Yeah, it's gotta have something.
You can control it, but then I wonder if there are times when it's like a scripted moment of like he is going absolutely fucking wild and all you can do is just keep killing things. But I don't know. I'm interested because like they're not leaning back from the gore, and from what we've seen, this seems to be a much smaller experience in scope than Spider-Man, which I think is probably the right decision. The open world Wolverine game. I don't know how that would really work.
No, it makes sense. He's not swinging around. He's just fast and apparently can jump high.
He can jump very high.
He can use his claws to climb in things, I think.
Yeah.
And there'll be some large areas. I feel like Uncharted 4 is probably the best way to look at like the scope of what this game will be a lot of times. I think that maybe there'll be a couple levels where you get to explore this little portion of the city or this larger area of a map. And it might not get to those like full points where like those levels where you like have the Jeep and shit like that. But for the most part, you'll feel a certain amount of freedom, even though you're in an enclosed space.
What if, sorry, you said something that made me think of an idea, and like I'm just getting, I'm still playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, but like what if destructible environments was like a big part of this game and like utilizing things you find on the ground to hit people? Obviously he has his claws, but like what if you extinguished your berserk mode and you couldn't use your claws for a certain moment and he had to like really like grab this pipe and like beat up someone, and then or you just pull the door like off this thing and like hit somebody? Like I don't know, that'd be really cool. Like, destructible environments. Ooh,
almost like a Sleeping Dogs type, where like the environments are very kind of a big part of the way that combat goes. That could be good. Because I don't know. I do also wonder. Like I'm itching for how this game. Like I want to get my hands on it to see how it feels. But then I also wonder, like, is it going to potentially feel rote if all you're ever doing is just clawing people? So like that could be a way to solve that a little bit of like using the environment, maybe things on the ground. Because like with Spider-Man, something that I think really elevates the combat of Spider-Man is all the various different moves that you get with the web of like whether you're like swinging people together, you're just shooting people to like slow them down. You have like the web bombs. There's like 18 different things that you can do with the web. There's only so much you can do with 6 claws. So I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm interested to see how that pans out.
It's interesting because I think like Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man was kind of, the combat was kind of shit on, I think, if I recall correctly a little bit. Like it's just basically like Arkham combat.
It's Arkham combat,
And then there were some gadgets, and then they had to drastically simplify the gadgets in the subsequent games, which I think they kind of got right or more right. But I don't think anyone goes home from playing Spider-Man and they go, God, the combat in that game was just so fucking great. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the story, they're talking about the graphics, they're talking about the open world, they're talking about the web slinging, like the actual traversal. And it's twofold. I wonder, one, what is the combat going to be like? How are you going to make it, like what you guys are saying? What are they going to do to make the combat be the highlight? Because it has to be the highlight of this video game. They have to get that right. It has to be intricate enough to keep people interested, but simple enough to grab people and let them, pick up and play. But it's the other half is how, Jerica, you said it during your reaction. I watched it before we went live, where I'm so interested to see how he traverses this world, because Insomniac games are so much about traversal. You go back to like Ratchet and Clank, and like that game could be argued, like outside of like Sonic started doing it, pretty big on like the grinding in third person games, like kind of pioneered what that looks like for a lot of modern platformers. And then even up through like into the Nexus, you had like the rocket skates, the rocket shoes or whatever. You were getting around those worlds. And then Spider-Man goes without saying, the slinging around the world makes a lot of sense. Obviously, it's very, very fun to move around that area. But then with Wolverine, it seems like it's the one thing that they didn't really show here. Like there's one scene where he kind of slides down a rooftop and jumps to like the next rooftop, but it seems like a very scripted, like Uncharted style, like whoa, whoa, whoa. And then you hit X and he kind of goes where he's supposed to go. What is it going to look like to just like run around the corner, go from point A to point B? And how interesting can they even make that in the first place? I don't know.
My assumption, you go ahead, Jerica.
This is going to help you out so much. I wanted to Google how do Wolverines truly kill in the wild, the animal, just so maybe this can help us. Killing techniques: suffocation. For larger animals, Wolverines may bite and clamp down on the throat. An ambush: Wolverine may leap from an elevated position, such as a rock or a tree, onto a large animal's back. A spinal attack: in some cases, a Wolverine may attack an animal like a reindeer by bite. Like what? Like a reindeer? Oh, not like a reindeer. I was like, reindeer don't bite, do they? They know to bite its spine to paralyze it. And then exploiting winter conditions, the Wolverine's large padded feet act like snowshoes, allowing it to move really quickly over deep, soft snow. There you go.
I love that.
I like it.
I think just like the Wolverine in the wild with its thick feet that lets it run on snow.
Soft snow.
Soft snow, excuse me. Thank you. Sorry. In Spider-Man, the bits when you're like running along a building but like just running to then leap into swinging, it's like a much accelerated version of a run. Like it's a superhero run. I think that there's going to be some of that. And then I'm sure like the jumping will be akin to the way that Spider-Man can jump really far as well. So I feel like it's going to just be like a lot like how Spider-Man feels without the swinging. And so the key will be the environments that they're in. Because if you take the swinging out of Spider-Man, the traversal in that game fucking blows. But that's because of the way that the world is built. So as long as they build it in a way that you don't yearn for that. And then I also think that it seems that there's going to be the motorcycle in some capacity. Whether those are scripted moments, who's to say? We don't know yet. But I do wonder if that's also a way to get around. If there are some bigger areas, like you were saying in Uncharted 4, Jake, if like there's a big area like that, maybe you can use the motorcycle, like the horse in The Last of Us Part 2, to just tread ground a little faster.
Imagine if you could like use your senses as Wolverine, and then like I can see that there's like a silhouette of an enemy like beyond this wall, and you just fucking run through the wall, just break through the building, and fuck them up and ambush.
You guys are so good at this because I am like a fucking complete moron who only has his memories triggered by other people's thoughts, apparently. In the last year leading up to the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, I replayed X2 Wolverine's Revenge, the X-Men official game tie-in with X-Men 3, and X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition for 360, the best Wolverine game ever made, and one of my favorite superhero fucking games. And there is a lot of answers, I feel like, in those games. Jerica, what you're saying about like the sense is a huge thing in, I think, X2, where you're constantly kind of going into like heightened senses mode and seeing silhouettes of other characters and then using that to do like takedowns. And there's a certain element of stealth in that game as well, which isn't something that was really apparent here. This was very rip and tear. And I think that there probably will be some of those slower sections where you're doing a lot of like sneak up behind them, take them, fucking slit their throat, and then keep it moving type of things. And I think bursting through the wall is definitely a thing.
Cord.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Paralyze
Wolverine
them.
is like in a lot of like comic stuff, he's a hunter. So it's like
Mhm.
a lot of the time it's just head to head fucking battle. But I think, and like Coal Mines was asking, has Wolverine ever used his claws like picks to climb walls in movies? And for sure, like that's going to be a way that we get around
Oh.
if it's a tall place is with the fucking claws. But I think, yeah, I think there's going to be some stealthy type sections of like, how can I systematically take down all of these people as Wolverine with my fucking Wolverine sense by pressing L3 or whatever.
Mm.
I will have
think-
so much relief for not having an open world checklist in this game. Please God, don't let it be overwhelming.
Oh,
That's
I
the
don't think
only thing
so.
that like just kills me in Spider-Man. I just feel like there's shit going on way too much, and then it's like all these checklists show up.
Sure,
like,
yeah, I don't think that we'll
I
get that here.
Oh,
I get excited about like a more tight linear
Yeah.
experience.
mark me
Also-
down for a wall run where he digs his claw into the wall to stay on it for longer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or like,
parkour.
in Spider-Man when you turn a corner on a building and he like does the like
Kind of
swing
like
around with momentum.
swings
I
his
bet
own-
there's
yeah.
going to be a claw version of that where you swing
Mhm.
around. Oh, easy, book it.
This would be fun.
Also, I think I maybe want to push back a little bit, Jake. That I think people regard the Spider-Man combat as being quite good.
Really?
I think
For
so.
some
I
reason,
think
for some reason, maybe it's just Spider-Man 1 that I'm thinking of. Maybe they've made it better. I feel like I remember people.
or I'm in the minority because I think that the combat in those games are great. Like,
Yeah.
If you can
especially-
stick to a play style that you want, it's like, but when you're like me and you want to be good at all of it, it's very difficult because there's just
Sure.
so many variations. But no, I think it's good. I don't think it's great because I think there's too many options. But what am I to
Yeah.
say? People
Yeah.
want options.
Oh,
Coal Mines makes a good
fucking-
point that the second one didn't evolve it as much, and there were some people that were upset about that. I think their version of evolving the second one was just adding Miles as a playable character. And so you
Right.
had his powers, which were the electric
Hey,
stuff.
I got a question, a follow-up question, but first let me talk about one more fucking very important move. The coolest
Yeah.
move in any Wolverine game is the fucking long ass lunge, baby. Both claws out
Oh,
straight into
yeah.
the chest of an enemy that's way across the field. Goes so crazy. And
I bet-
in Uncaged Edition, you do that and you kind of do a flip and grab them and fucking
Ah.
throw them
Throw
over
'em.
your head.
Yeah.
Oh,
I bet if they don't do that, their own version of that, it'll be you can dive into somebody and then jump off them to have momentum to another enemy. I bet. Because you can kind of do that in Spider-Man where like you do the thing where you like do a flip, you jump down on the guy and then like spring off of him as
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
you're
I
right.
bet they do a Wolverine version of that.
I am so confident in them. They're gonna just fucking make the best superhero game of all time. They're gonna top Spider-Man. I think this is gonna be the God of War of like superhero games. I truly think so. There's so much potential.
This
I agree.
conversation is like so encapsulating of why I like video games, why I like previewing video games and talking about them on podcasts with you guys. Of like, it's so fun when something hits just pitch perfectly and everybody is into it, and just the speculation of what it could be starts to get exciting. Like, what a fucking fun conversation to have about such a fun character and such a fun studio for a game that looks so good already. Like, this is the good shit right here. Like,
This is
more
the
of
good
this,
shit.
Sony, and I know you're capable of it. Stop fucking sandbagging us. What are the other companies working on? Let us speculate a little bit more instead of just being completely fucking aimless, man.
Yeah.
Let us help
Yeah,
you make the game. We got ideas. You know,
I got so many.
He's
Final
got
Bites,
so
you have
many.
that? Probably not.
You drop 5 games from this state of play and you end on Wolverine like you did. And I think this is like an easy 7, which, as far as the state of play is concerned, is a fucking win.
Yeah.
Because the more it's the kind of thing where we talk about this and how good this game looked, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm only giving this a 5. But then I look back at the list, and I'm like, oh yeah, there was so much bullshit in this state of play. It just tricked me with the last 10 minutes being incredible.
Yeah, like
True.
8 minutes.
They like to do that to us.
Hey,
They do.
is the Venom game dead?
No,
You think that's still
I think-
happening?
I think it's still happening. I just don't think. I think this like apparently comes out before it because there's no way that will need to come out before Wolverine. I think.
I wonder if
I don't
we'll
know
ever
unless there's
find out.
nothing else coming. I mean,
I wonder if we'll ever
was
find
it-
out how that leak affected them.
I think with how long it's taken Wolverine, I think that is we're not going to know for certain, but I think that is probably something that was affected because, with a studio or like a company like that, any company, whether they're public facing or not, if you have a leak like that, you have to fix it. And that's going to take time and resources and money and change things and make deadlines change and shit. So I bet there is a world in which this game was supposed to be a lot closer to release than the fall. But, so then like Venom, I bet falls into that too, of like, okay, this fucking huge leak that was a problem that, put our staff at risk. We need to focus, like, let's put Venom to the side for a bit. Let's focus on Wolverine and protecting our people.
And then
Sony
probably had them working on a whole other multiplayer online situation.
Probably.
Like whenever the pivot was like every studio should probably make one of these. Bungie, how do we do it? And then
I think they might have gotten away with not doing that. Here's the thing about the leak is I didn't watch anything, but I did read pretty extensively. And the thing that worries me about Venom, and the thing that I think is the most fascinating about it, is that Venom was very clearly supposed to come out next, not Wolverine. And because it is supposed to be the Miles Morales experience that everyone is saying, where it's built off of the bones of Spider-Man 2. We already had, spoiler alert, playable Venom in that game. You expand on it, you make it a little bit bigger of a fucking situation, and then you kind of keep it popping. The Wolverine was supposed to come out next, and then it was very explicit what the fucking trajectory looks like. It's Wolverine after that, then Spider-Man 3, then Spider-Gwen as a spin-off of that. That's your Miles Morales, that's your Venom from the previous two games, and then it's Ratchet and Clank 9 or whatever Ratchet and Clank we're on right now. So I'm wondering, obviously Wolverine got crazy fucking delayed, but did Venom just move to make some room for it?
I think it probably just moved. And I remember seeing rumors about Wolverine potentially leading to something bigger like X-Men, but I don't know if that's just someone making shit up or if that was real rumorage. Because the Spider-Gwen, is that something that was like a real rumor, or is that just you're just pontificating?
No, I think Ike might be right. I think X-Men was also in that leak.
Yeah,
I think.
I think there was some X-Men leak.
The Spider-Gwen is also in that for sure.
Gotcha.
I'm forgetting X-Men.
Yeah, I think it's also probably the kind of thing where, because it's been so either Ratchet or Spider-Man from Insomniac for so long, that it could have been like a up top call of like, we need to focus on something like Wolverine instead of more Spider-Man for now. I could see that being the reason of like, especially just like a different flavor.
Yeah, like, all right, let's maybe we don't need this, but this is where we are having the most fun making Wolverine, because I could only imagine like how much they are just tired of not tired of Spider-Man, but like this is a whole different type of game. This is a brand new game for them. Like
they would have been 2014 is probably when they started on Spider-Man for 2018 release. I mean, I'm sure they're very excited to be working on Wolverine. Colemine says maybe the majority or they majorly tweaked Venom and are now somehow using that to bridge Wolverine into an X-Men game. That's interesting. If they changed anything narratively.
That reminded me of something to ask y'all, if you know more about Marvel Cinematic Universe than I do, or just any universe, honestly, because like X-Men coming into the fold, even in the MCU, I assume, like in the movies at some point, right? I don't know. I feel like it's blended. I'm not an expert. Do they bring any Marvel characters? Is there a way to implement like what universe? Because I remember the first Wolverine trailer, like you learn like which universe you're in, like something's up on the board. It's like a telltale, like what version of Wolverine
Earth or
we're getting.
Whatever we're in.
Yeah, and I just wonder if this is the same universe as Spider-Man that we know from Insomniac, or is this like brand new? And could they just use that as a stepping stone to bring in other characters? Like, I have no clue.
I feel like we have heard that this is the same universe as Spider-Man, but I'm not 100% on that.
Okay, so we have heard a little bit about that during, I want to say, the developer, the lead of like Spider-Man 2 did podcast rounds, I want to say.
Brian Entahar first. Yeah.
About how they, for a little while, this is all cagey. The end result here, to tell you the ending of the story, is that we don't fucking know yet. But basically, they had initially said, yeah, there were plans for a Wolverine cameo or something that would kind of pull us in towards that. And then they decided, we don't know what's going on. Let's let them cook in their universe over there and not try to jump the gun or shoehorn something in if it doesn't make sense right now. So yeah, we don't know if it's going to connect. I would assume that yes, it's going to connect, but I do know also that I know, but it could be, it does get a little bit weird. I don't think it will be that weird, but it is a different deal that they signed for Wolverine, because they signed not only for Wolverine, but they signed for X-Men, according to those leaks. And the Spider-Man deal already existed. And the reason why I think the other kind of like interesting thing here when we're speculating about Venom and even talking about like the trajectory of this Wolverine game is that this is a very unique thing within Sony that I think probably lends credence to them not being affected by the live service push, and maybe why they're one of like the most, I guess, unfazed. Like they have kind of stayed on their consistent path and put out games at a pretty rapid tick that are quality and of the same thing that we expect from an Insomniac games, is that the deal with fucking Marvel is really crazy. Like they have a massive fucking budget and then they give a huge cut of not even their profits, but like their net sales over to Marvel. Like it's like fucking staggering. It's like, I want to say it was like 15% of just like net sales of digital games just goes to them. And then it gets fucking insane. It's like a 30+% of the wholesale of the entire console bundle that they put out as well. And Spider-Man 2 was like the only way to get a PlayStation for a long time. Like there's a lot of money being played with and moving around with these fucking deals for sure. And I think that's why Insomniac's kind of marching to the beat of their own drum over there, is because it's not just playing with house money. They are also in this thing for Marvel and fostering that relationship and signing additional deals with them.
Yeah. I think it's probably a slam dunk, at the very least, that this game in some way references Spider-Man in New York City. But there's a lot of like, Jerica, of you like asking questions about like Marvel and X-Men and stuff. There's a lot of precedence of Spider-Man and Wolverine doing shit together. Like back in the day in the old cartoon, Wolverine would show up in the Spider-Man cartoon all the fucking time. Like I think it would totally make sense for like an Act 3 team up for whatever Omega Red is being controlled by, or whatever the fuck. Like, because we haven't talked about at all the Sentinels at the very, very end, which, it's so fucking good. If we're going to get to fight a huge fucking Sentinel as Wolverine,
we do that in Uncaged and it's fucking awesome. Like the set piece is still unbelievable. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And you crash it out of the air and it hits like a fucking meteor. It's unreal.
But I do wonder, to go to your point earlier, Jake, if that is a hint about timeline shit of like with them saying the thing about him being an unreliable narrator and his memory being fuzzy. I could see it being like jumping throughout his timeline of like, this is when he was in the X-Men. The Sentinels were a problem. We have Oliver Trask or whatever with running the Sentinels. Maybe there's like a set of missions about that, and then it's like, hard cut to him in Canada. He's not in the X-Men anymore. He's whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Omega Red's after him for some reason or whatever. Like I could see them doing that, but not like a vignette style, but like as a way to introduce characters. We get a Cyclops cameo or whatever the fuck.
For sure.
Man, I'm so fucking jacked for this, dude.
I know.
The more I talk about it.
There's also, he makes a good point. He's going to Saros himself while listening to Uncle Phil, which is possible. I think that one thing that we haven't talked about yet, and maybe is worth it for this exact conversation, is the key art for this fucking game is maybe our best hint of if it takes place in the same universe or not. Because I would venture to say it does indeed, because the Wolverine key art and the cover art is very much in line with the Spider-Man cover art. Like they look
for sure
next to each other. You'll have the red Spider-Man one, the like yellow Wolverine one. How fucking dope would like a blue Captain America one look like in this fucking thing? Like there's so much that you can do with this universe, and they're crushing it so hard that I hope there's more that kind of coincides. I would love them. Imagine, listen, the MCU's having a hard time right now. Maybe we're fucking looking at the ICU right now, the Insomniac Cinematic Universe being born in front of us.
What are the chances that Marvel, with all that money that you're saying that Marvel is throwing into Insomniac, that they balloon that studio up and get them enough people that they essentially have like a whole extra team to be making another game, so that they don't just become a Marvel studio? Because even though as much as I want Wolverine, I don't want Insomniac to only make Marvel games.
I get it.
But I fear that that's like what their future is now.
Yeah, it's tough because you're talking to somebody who loves Ratchet and Clank so much. It's my favorite of those big like PS2 marquee first party characters, and every other one of those have gone by the wayside. No one touches Jak and Daxter. No one's thought about Sly Cooper since like the PlayStation 4. It is PlayStation 3. It is a really, really tough situation out there watching some of your favorite companies not get to work on what you'd like them to work on, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
No, for sure.
Insomniac seems like the only one that seems to be like the exception. And if they're doing all this Marvel stuff, it seems like they're probably enjoying doing this Marvel stuff, because the alternative, if they look at all the other peer studios that are being forced to work on Last of Us fucking factions and canceled Sony Bend projects, and Bluepoint Studios is doing a God of War games as a service thing, all of a sudden making another fucking Spider-Man doesn't sound so bad.
With how much they make on Spider-Man, and I mean, Wolverine is gonna be fucking huge. Like the gamers that are only playing Battlefield, they're gonna play a Wolverine game. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be a fucking hit. And so I bet Insomniac, in the eyes of Herman Hulst and all of the people at the top of PlayStation, is like golden child of you're just keep bringing in the money, making amazing games with not your own IP. Because like D-Gun's in the chat, I desperately want them to make their own IP for sure. But then you make a great point of like, is the alternative that Insomniac does not exist potentially?
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, they tried making their own IP twice in the early 2010s, and neither effort went very well. They did Fuse. Wait, was it Fuse? Am I getting the games wrong? I think
no,
Fuse.
you're not getting it wrong. I think it's Fuse.
Fuse, and then they did Sunset Overdrive, and I like both of those games a lot, but they failed to resonate with the consumer base. Like straight up, they were not successes. So the fact that they're still working on Ratchet and Clank is the best that we could maybe hope. But I also think it's interesting, Patrick, talking about your teams, that there's a really weird Insomniac fucking thing. Ted Price retired at the beginning of this year or late last year, or announced his retirement, or he's out now, and now they have 3 different people running the studio.
I remember that now.
So there's clearly there's a lot going on there, and man, that would be, if there is a single company outside of fucking Nintendo, because they're so secretive all the time, that I would love to see just like the fly on the wall documentary of the last fucking half decade. God, Insomniac reacting to the leak and the fallout from the leak and how it affects their stuff, their intricacies with the Marvel studios and PlayStation studio heads, and the changing of the guard there with Herman Hulst, and like all the turnover up top, and the pivot from games as a service, and them potentially avoiding that. God damn, I think that would be so fucking fascinating.
And on top of that, we haven't even considered this game doesn't want to come out around Grand Theft Auto. Nothing does.
Yeah.
True. And how does that impact it? Like, you know, I don't even, just with that being said, you know, I don't know where it's going to land next year, Grand Theft Auto, but like if I was Wolverine, even I feel like Disney and all that, they would want that just somewhere else, far away from.
I mean, Grand Theft Auto is going to be the fall. There's no way it hits May, I don't think. And if it's not the fall, it's late summer. It's like
that
August.
Pushes Wolverine at that point. I bet they would delay it.
I mean, because I guess fall could be, if we're sticking to the rules, fall could be all the way through like late December, because doesn't winter officially start like the 21st of December or some shit?
Something like that.
So, I mean, it could be, but then because I mean, they're going to want to try to get Game Awards for this, because they never really succeeded super well with Spider-Man. They got a few, but you know, I don't know. Sirius says GTA 6 is in May. I thought it is, but
they're just getting better at like the delaying of games doesn't seem to happen as often with like Sony first party anymore, because they have just like whittled down caginess to a fucking science where, like, you guys remember, I think it was 3 years ago, where Spider-Man 2, there was a massive state of play, and Spider-Man 2 was like shown off, and it was like the crazy trailer that had Miles and fucking Peter going through with Croc or whatever through like the swamp type area.
Yeah.
All that crazy set piece shown. Like the game looked like so ready to rip, and at the end there was still no fucking release date, and everyone was baffled. And then like a week and a half later, it was shown at like the Game Awards or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that was a strategic move just to kind of give it some more shine, or if they were just happened to be ready. But it seems like they're just not saying a firm release date for these first party games anymore unless it is completely ready to roll.
Sure. Deegan says, I think there's far too much importance placed on GTA 6. The implied fear of it seems silly to me. Unless you're within 2 weeks of it, you're fine. I think, respectfully, if
incorrect.
the people that are in charge
Well-
of making money for their studios are like, hey, this is going to fuck us, I think it's probably going to fuck them.
For sure. It's,
I
it is
wonder-
a nightmarish scenario.
Yeah.
I wonder, just the fact that we got a window for fall for Wolverine, like they have to share someone's sharing some details. So like I feel like it seems like if that is coming out next fall, like GTA would be earlier in the year.
Sure.
So maybe it hits the May.
Could
But
be.
like just the
Could be.
fact.
And maybe GTA actually does hit earlier in 2026. It just, we've talked about it on the show before. There hasn't been a major GTA game without like 3 delays. It's like clockwork, like every single time. And there's only been, I think, 1 so far, technically. So
I think
maybe
one,
everything
but
next year's
they locked
safe.
in on a specific date. I mean, we know May 26th.
we'll see.
I know.
We'll see. Jerica, no, not your Jerica. Kayla, your co-host, asked some good questions in the chat. In terms of, so the state of play, it has now been covered. Thank you. Good night. But the things that they didn't show today, like Intergalactic, Kayla wonders when we see it. Do we think we maybe see it at the Game Awards? Jerica, when do you think we see Intergalactic again?
I think it's a showcase. I think PlayStation will have a showcase. I think Jake, you said something like early next year.
I feel like it would make sense for them to do a PS6 showcase again.
That's it.
Probably
I
sometime
think
next year.
we get that some point. Yeah, next year too. But yeah, I don't think we get it at the Game Awards this year. I think
I'm
it'd
with
be
Jerica.
twice. I feel like Naughty Dog's too cool to have it twice in the same place.
I think that Sony wants that win for themselves too. Of like, we gave that headline
The
away
first
once.
gameplay reveal.
Right. Yeah, that should be at a PlayStation State of Play, especially because everyone hates our State of Plays now.
You're
That's
right.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we don't see Intergalactic again this year. I think the earliest we see it is next year.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be wrong, but I don't think that's the case. D-Guns also says, so Saros is March 20th and GTA is in May. So Saros is fucked? I know, because that would be before GTA. So they're going to get the bulk of their sales, and that kind of thing. And also,
these are the dates we're getting is before May.
Yeah. And also, if I am correct and GTA gets pushed again, that's even better for Saros, because now they get a few extra months without GTA, because when GTA comes out, it's going to completely own the industry for 3 months. Like, it'll be all, there's going to be news every single day about the game. Everyone's going to be streaming it. It's going to break every single record that it possibly can, from sales and player numbers and Steam concurrence, all that shit going to be broken. And so, yeah, I think before GTA is the move, or you give it some breathing room so that the people that only buy a couple games a year that will buy GTA 6, that you don't lose out on them, potentially because there's been a few months of time for that to, like, they got a few more paychecks, that kind of thing.
And I think
and you're right. It's not on PC at launch. You're right.
It's going to be the wildest thing to witness. It's never had this much momentum behind it and I don't think we'll ever see a release like this. This is going to be a historic release. I'm just eager to see what happens. Which is crazy,
because GTA 5 was a historic release and Red Dead Redemption 2 was a historic release. The last 2 Rockstar games have broken every sales record out the gate and have made just so much fucking money. And GTA 6 is going to like triple that, probably. It's crazy.
It's going to be insane. And I think ahead of time, as long as you give yourself a couple week buffer, you should be fine to release in 2026. I think even up through like 4th of July, maybe, is you start to have that window of like, if you're releasing something that doesn't cater to like the male 18 to 34 demographic, I guess, or whatever the fuck like GTA controls, is like, you can put out Pokemon if you want that week, like in July, like now you're safe there. But like, everything else, steer the fuck clear until the end of the summer, like August, September. I think we will not see a crazy amount of releases in like May through August, and then it'll be even fucking crazier September, October, like we're having right now, of 2026, because the releases over the last couple weeks and over the next couple weeks are fucking insane. this is the new holiday season release time frame. It's not November like it used to be.
I'm
It's
so
September,
overwhelmed
October.
with how many games there are to play right now.
I know.
We're gonna finish this
Does
podcast,
Hades
and
come
I'm gonna
out
be like,
in an hour and 20 minutes, or is it tomorrow afternoon?
it's 26th. It's Friday.
Okay.
It's Hades, not the
No.
25th.
No, it's the 25th.
I'm pretty sure it's the 26th.
Definitely.
Let's see.
Hades 2 release date. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. At 12.
Is it really?
Is that midnight or noon? At noon. At noon tomorrow. Yes.
Well, there you go. I really thought it was the 26th because when we were originally, never mind. I'm wrong. I just, for the last, since it was released, I was like, oh, well, we couldn't talk about it if we did the Thursday show. Because originally we weren't going to do a State of Play breakdown. We were going to talk about Silent Hill and Sonic Crossroads. I was like, well, fuck, we have to wait for Hades for Friday. But I just can't read, turns out. Well, my Thursday just got fucking more exciting.
Yeah.
Playing Hades 2 all night tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't fucking wait.
Great.
State of Play. What a time. 10 out of 10. Easy. Best State of Play that's ever happened.
It's very strong.
We will be back later this week, most likely Saturday evening for either a game stream or a messy pod. Maybe we're going to talk about Hades 2. Maybe we're going to play Hades 2. Maybe we're just going to just look at each other. Just stare. Say nice things. Right. Could be good. Squinky says, Patrick spreading misinformation. Time to get spanked by Nemesis. Ooh.
Is that from Resident Evil, that Nemesis, or
I hope so.
Nemesis?
I can.
It's from Hades.
Whether it's Mr. X.
From Hades?
Fucking Nemesis or from Hades. Oh, got it. Okay. I don't remember that from Hades. I apologize.
I don't remember their names. They were just all sexy people.
Yeah. That's a big miss by me. I apologize, Squinky. The only thing I've been wrong about today, actually.
Yeah.
All right, that's our show, folks. Dropandropapod.com. Go there, join the Discord, find all the cool shit that we're doing across the internet. We got the Jacob Games podcast. We got the Spotlight Games podcast. We got the Jake Twitch and streams. We got the Cognitive Clips video essays. We got all sorts of fun shit all over the internet. One day we're going to convince Cayman to bring back his dumpster dive streams. One day, but that day isn't today. We will be back in a few days. Until then, we're going to look at the camera. We're going to wave. We're going to say bye. We're going to say we love you. Bye-bye.